Well, joining me here in the studio is Priyali Sur. She's a women's rights activist and filmmaker. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Happy to be here, Gerald.
Priyali, we're about to mark 25 years since the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, widely regarded as the most progressive blueprint for championing women's rights. How far have we come?
Well, it would be unfair to say that we haven't had much success. We have had, obviously, a fair amount of success in terms of policies around the world. A lot of countries have come out with the perfect policies and the 12 criteria that the Beijing Platform for Action was looking at. But just to put this in perspective, let me give you a comparative analysis. In '95, another big thing that happened was World Wide Web was introduced to the world. Today, 25 years later almost everybody can talk about having internet in their houses. But how many people or how many countries can say that we have abolished gender inequality? How many women can say that we have never faced violence against us? So progress has happened, but most of the progress has been on paper. We really need to make sure that there's implementation of these perfect policies. Gender equality or violence against women, elimination of violence against women cannot just be checking the box in terms of policies or development programs in the countries.
Well, let me say this then. Over the next 2 years, the UN has put the focus on prevention and elimination of rape. Is that goal realistic?
Well, let's just say that rape is one of the worst forms of violence against women. So should the focus be there? Yes. And should the focus be there now? I mean, it should have been there for a long time, and if it hasn't happened until now, then yes, the focus should be there now. Is it realistic? It is how realistic we can make it. It is how realistic the government can make it, governments around the world can make it. It is how realistic the people who actually have to go through the attitudinal changes can make it. So clearly, we have had progress in terms of talking about violence against women, which it seems in terms of numbers is almost 1 in 3, have had progress and success about it in the past few years in talking about it in terms of campaigns, online campaigns. But for example, the Me Too movement or the Hear Me Too movement. But have these campaigns only become something which is activism on social media? Has it only become online activism?
So have they made an impact, do you think?
So that's actually a very good question. Yes, in terms of the fact that people are talking about it, that women are feeling encouraged or even brave enough to come out and talk about it is a huge step, because until now women don't feel the courage to come out and talk about it because of the fear of victim blaming. The fact that this has become a drawing room conversation or a living room conversation, more men are aware that how pervasive violence against women is. It's a huge step, but I think we need to move these campaigns beyond just online campaigns to real action on the ground, and that real action on the ground can be taken through 3 factors: through policy, through change on the ground, and definitely through attitudinal change of people.
Okay, and so how do we change that attitude?
So I think for me, as a person who's done a lot of work on gender equality on the field, I think one of the key factors to look at is education, and educating men, women, children right from the beginning, sensitization programs, and making them realize that being a man or a woman or any of any other sexual orientation for that matter doesn't mean that a person needs to be discriminated in any form. That education and sensitization needs to start from the very start. It's the attitude that needs to change.
Priyali Sur, thank you so much for your time. A really important topic. Glad to have you on the show.
Happy to be here.